two. I just need one or two comments to be sure you can hear me and you can see my screen. Please, I just need one or two people to just comment. If you can hear me and see my screen, please just help me do that so that I can proceed with what I have for us today. You can hear me? Okay, Mr. Adam, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's head to the chart. I think we are so good to go. Okay, and if I have any shout out to do again, I'll be coming back to do that again later, because I really have some good stuff to show us on the chart. So yes, today is the 10th of October 2023, and you all are welcome to the most esteemed live analysis section sponsored by Bulls Road Funding. It is so beautiful having every one of you here around. It is so beautiful having every one of you around. Okay, so let's head straight to the chart. Okay. Whew. Okay, so yes, on my charts, this is AUD USD, and okay. I don't want to speak about this first. Let me just take it to there's something happening on oil. I just want you to quickly see. I'm not talking about oil basically. I just want you to quickly see so that you're not devastated on what's happening. Okay, yes, overall, if you had been our live chart analysis, you must have noticed how well we have been able to analyze oil and how well it has been able to go for us, on the last speculation we had, while we said that it is on an overall buy, we expected a temporary sell, and we have seen that happen so well. So now we are anticipating a buy. But as it is, do not get into it yet because it's trying to form a pattern. Let's see a pattern, and you will notice that most currencies, most indexes, most commodities, whatsoever, most of the stocks over the weekend on opening on very late on Sunday, they all opened almost with a gap. Okay, and we see the same thing happened on oil, and so far so good. Yes, maybe sometimes the gaps are not filled, but one way or the other, most of the times on every currency pair, one way or the other, the gaps are always what they are always filled up. The gaps are always filled up. The gaps are always filled up. So yes, we anticipate that the gap should be filled up. I want to see a concrete. I want to see a very nice, candlestick pattern or a bullish reversal pattern. We want to see a very good solid pattern to give us a confirmation to the upside. Do not be devastated. Do not be worried. US oil is on a long, it is on a long buy. And like I said, let me just quickly show us that when it wants to begin its buy, it's buying to this next zone here. Yes, it's buying to 108. You see, the market does one thing, and I've seen it again and again. The market respects movement from zone to zone. It might take time, but one way or the other, it respects it. The market likes to move from a zone to the next zone, a zone to the next zone, a zone to the next zone. It might take time in consolidating. It might take some drastic retracement here and there. But as it is, we have seen it come back into the zone and also give a third touch on the trend line. Yeah, it's on third touch on the trend line. And like I said last time too, you notice that it's also around the 50 to 61 Fibonacci area. I don't want to keep drawing this all the time. Okay, so you see it's still trending around that place. But yes, we want a concrete. Wow, we have quite numbers of people in this meeting with us. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. I can see numbers of people following, and I can see our comment. Thank you so much. Okay, so you would see that it has actually gone the way we want, but now we still want something concrete, something solid to show us that yes, I am ready to go to the top. So yes, every one of us, we are waiting to see US oil form a proper candlestick pattern or a bullish reversal pattern to the upside, and to give us a go ahead that I am ready to go to the upside. Okay, now let me go to US 30. I'm trying to quickly brush those ones we've spoken about in our previous analysis section. So US 32, it's quite drastic. It's quite dramatic. Some people don't even know what US 30 is doing presently. Is it selling? Is it buying? Okay, it's selling. It's trying to retrace. Okay, now I've thrown light into US 30, and I'm going to do that again today. Okay, now let me take you to the higher time frame. I've told us times with a number. Okay, maybe for some of you joining us anew. I try to reiterate this and say it almost as emphatic as possible that the market, it is better to see the market from the higher time frame. I want to say this again. It is better to see the market from the higher time frame. You know why? The one is because the higher time frame influence. They are the one who decides for the lower time frame. And you need to see the bigger picture so that you can see things from the bigger place and from the bigger way. Okay, so that you can see things from the bigger place and from the bigger picture. So now you would see that in just a glance, in just a view, it's looking like I'm just talking about the whole of everything, the whole of the candles you can see on my chart presently on US30. For US30 rather, you will see that it's just looking like it wants to form. I'm just talking about every candle you can see on this chart. It's looking like we had a first leg of M pattern, and now we have the one for me for a neckline, and we are almost having the second leg for the M pattern. I'm not saying that is what is happening. I'm just trying to let you see that when you can see from the bigger time frame, it helps you, it stress you less, it stress your brain less. You can be able to see brighter, you can be able to see better. So, and you will see that currently, okay, let me go to the weekly now. You'll see that currently, market has been creating waves. It has been creating higher highs and higher lows. It has been giving us highs and lows, creating and letting us know that I am on a bullish run. And you would even see, sorry, I have to take you back to the monthly. See how the market, see how the candle, the monthly candle is forming. Today is the 10th of the 10th month in the year 2023. And you will see how the candle must have been forming even the week before now. It definitely was a bearish candle selling to the downside, and you will see how it has begun to form now. Now it's looking like it's going back to the top. Now, do not be devastated, do not be worried. You need to see things patiently, you need to see things clearly so that you can be able to get in at the right time with the right information. Okay, at the right time and with the right information. So presently, it is no news again that US30 overall trend is what is buy. Okay, US30 overall trend is buy, and the total or the overall profit target for US30, it's also at this top. It's at around 36310. It's also around this top, around this top. And what is happening and what are we experiencing presently? Now, what we are experiencing presently is that, like I said the other time, the market moves from zone to zone. We've seen the market move from the lowest zone here to the next zone, broke past it, come back to this zone, came back to give a touch, like a homage to that zone, and pushed to the upside, struggled around this area for a numbers of weeks, for a numbers of days, for a numbers of, for major of the weeks and days, and broke past it. And now this was just supposed to come as a mild, like I said, a mild retest. Just a mild retest, but we are seeing a major retest, and we are even seeing it moving beyond, it's moving below rather, it's moving below that support zone. It's moving, I am so fired up today because I really want us to get so many things clear so that you can be able to see the difference between a manipulation and the difference between a trend. Sometimes you feel like this is the trend, whereas you are seeing a manipulation. So you would see that, okay, like I said in our past videos, I said you have to be careful with US30, please. You have to be careful with US30. Now, some people would say, yes, US30 has closed 2 candles below this zone. That's 1, 2. I can begin to sell. You can imagine if you had begun to sell on US30 and like what did John says about US30? That guy didn't even know what he's saying. He said US30 is going to be buying. Can't you see he's selling? Can't you see it has even closed 2 candles below the support zone? You are saying, and look at it already. I'm very sure, I don't want to know where your stop is, but I'm very sure it must have taken your stops away. So this is why that the information is good and the information is necessary for you to take into this and abide by it. Okay, now, so it's very, very necessary, and it's very, 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 very necessary that you take this information for yourself and do well with it to cultivate and buy by it and what have I did. So now, what's happening on US30? Like I said, it has moved past the zone, but it's still all of its assignments around this place is still for a retest in this zone. It's just like it's coming to moving lower for a retest. And why is that happening? Let me show us on the weekly. You would see that the reason why trying to move in even lower than that, it's just trying to come and touch the Fibonacci area. So see the Fibonacci on the weekly. I hope I'm not getting too confused rather. I hope I'm not getting too confused. Look at the Fibonacci. Look at the Fibonacci. Look at from the swing low to the swing line. Look at how it has gone to the upside, and how, if it had just touched this support zone here, it will not be touching the 50 to the 61 Fibonacci area. So what it's trying to do presently is just trying to come in within that box of the 50 to the 61 Fibonacci area. Okay, so I hope you all are with me and you all are getting me. So now let's go to the daily. Now it is there already. Now the next question is, has it engulfed? Is it ready to start buying? Okay, yes, it has engulfed, but it is not ready to start buying. You know why I'm saying this? Let me show us. The reason why we call this technical analysis, the reason why we call it price action is that we try to look at the way price is dictated. We try to look at the way price has acted in past times, and try to implement them in the present times. I don't know if I need to say that again. We try to look at how the price has dictated, how the price has acted in past times, and we look at how we can implement them in the present time. So I went back and look at how does US 30 react when it comes for a retest, or when it comes into a zone. How does it fire up? Okay, how does it fire up? Probably wants to go on a bullish run, on a bearish run. How does it fire up when it comes for a retest or for a zone? Now, coming to this, now check this with me patiently and looking clearly. Okay, check this with me patiently. Now you see that the first of a kind we have here, I'm just talking about the current move. The first, and this is even where we have our swing low. Okay, the first of a kind we have, you see that when it came back into this lower zone, it went to the upside, gave us sweet candlestick pattern, and got it to the upside and went bullish. Okay, but you notice that it came back for a second leg. It came back for a second leg before the impulse movement started properly. Okay, it came back for a second leg before the impulse movement started properly. It came back for a second leg before the impulse movement started properly. Okay, that is one. Let us go to the next one. Now, look at how it has been riding to the top. It broke past. This one is just a minor one. Broke past, came back. All these are just minors. Again, when it came for a second, it's the second zone where we have our second touch. We have our second touch on the trend line. It went to the upside, it ranged for a numbers of days, for a numbers of weeks. Okay, for a numbers of days, which could be number of week too. It ranged within this area and broke to the upside. And you see, again, it came for the second leg, almost from, giving us a W pattern vibe, giving us a double bottom vibe, almost came again with the second leg, and then go before it started its impulse movement. Now, check another one again here. It came again to another touch on the trend line, and also at the Fibonacci area, where came the first time to the down and got it to the upside, still came back the second time and then got it to the upside. That is three. I hope you all are following me, please. I want to be very sure you are following me closely. Now, that is three. Now, the next one again, it broke past this place. It broke past this place, came for the retest one, went to the upside, said, no, I have to come for the second one. Came for the second one again, now just engulfed it, and the impulse movement was clear. So now, from how the price has acted, from how the price has dictated in past times, I do feel that even if US 30 wants to begin its bullish run, I do feel if I want to play around or do whatever thing, I want to make you feel like, okay, yes, it has broken this zone, and as it is coming for a touch on this, on this support zone, and just coming as a retest to engulf it to the downside. Now, looking well and looking closely. Now, if you see it's clear, I want us to anticipate a second leg back into this base and a push to the upside. Now, of course, if probably it's not doing this, when we analyze, we are also thinking of contingencies, like what can make this not happen. Okay, now what we are expecting is like a second push to this base and a normal push to the upside. But if it comes into this and it's struggling, we have to, of course, you have to see it happen. Like I said all the time, don't assume for the market. You have to see that candle close. You have to see it happen before you get into it. So if it comes here and it's not engulfing it to the upside, please do not be interested, except you are convinced that it is a sell. But from my analysis, I am 80 to 85% convinced that US30 is still a buy. Okay, I am 80 to 85% convinced that US30 is still a buy. So if it comes back into this place and it's not giving a proper engulfing pattern to the upside, please do not be interested. And if you feel like it breaks and it closes around this place, I just think you just have to stay aside on US30. It might be just that you want to touch it, but I'm just giving that 10 to 15%. I'm not sure that's what US30 want to do. I just think he just want to form a pattern within the Fibonacci area, and because yes, that was a former base, that was a former base of an impulsive movement earlier. So yes, I expect that it gives a second push into this place and push the upside. So you are saying, is it going to sell today? Yeah, I really do not know if it's going to sell today or sell tomorrow. But what I'm just anticipating, because I don't want it to be caught in the way, what I'm just saying is that it's most likely going to give. It might not even come, as low as this. It might just be somewhere around there. It's just most likely going to give a second leg, which would look like a W pattern or a double bottom pattern, give like a second leg before then I anticipate it to give a bullish engulfing candle to the upside. Then we can join in for the buy from somewhere around this place to that overall TP I have spoken about. Okay, I have spoken about. So I'm not saying get into the market, go and sell today, but I'm just saying that be patient. You're still going to catch a bigger fish. So when you're going to catch a bigger fish, why will you be bothered to trade from year to year? When you'll be able to trade from somewhere around here to here, somewhere around here to the top, somewhere around here to the top side. So you'll be able to trade from somewhere around here to the top. So why will you be bothered? Why will you be bothered trading from year to year? Okay, that starts from US30. I think I just have to show us what I have for us on AUD USD and NZ USD. Okay, so for a while we've been spoken about AUD USD, NZ USD, AUD USD, and I want you to know that the market can be funny, especially when it is in a range. I'm telling you, the market can be very, very funny, especially when it's in a range. Like I've said, for every impulse movement of the market, expect a retracement or expect a consolidation. Or consolidation can also be called range. Okay, so expect a retracement or expect a consolidation, which can also be a range. So, and when it's consolidating, especially, or when it is ranging, especially, the market can be funny. It can move you to the top, to the down. The market can just move you as it wishes. It can just the way the wind moves the flowers. They can just move you as the wind can just move you, post you to and fro. But you will have to decide that no, I am not a flower. I want to be a rock. Okay, I don't want to be moved to and fro like just the wind will just do for the flowers and all. Okay, no. So now you have to tell the market that I want my feet rooted. I want my feet rooted because I don't just want you to toss me to and fro. Now, what has been happening so far on AUD USD and NZ USD is that the market is still moving within the range. Of course, I'm anticipating that the market is going to get out of the range as soon as possible. But like I said, I have shown us that we have this is like a bigger brother and this is like a younger brother. Okay, this range here is like a bigger. So look at how this range formed. And if you're looking closely with me, you would see almost the same pattern. I'm telling you, you will see almost the same pattern forming in this bigger brother range. Sorry, I'm using bigger brother. I'm just using a common context everybody can try to relate to it. Okay, now, so you would see that in this bigger brother range we have here, you see we are seeing almost the same. Look at what happened from year to year, how we came to the downside, how we touched the top of the range, came to the midway, the top of the, you would see almost the same thing to happen in this younger brother. Came here. You would see almost the same thing happening. You see how it was pushing beyond the support, beyond the resistance zone, below the support zone, still coming back into the range, still doing this, still doing that. Then what is happening presently? Now, this is happening presently. This trend line was not there before. I brought it in there because this is the inner trend line. So on the inner trend line, I can see that just as the bigger brother, just like the bigger brother did, let me show you this. Just like the bigger brother did on the on the weekly, which of course can be obvious on the daily time frame, just like the bigger brother did, you would see that while it was consolidating, all it was pushing for was to come and give a third touch on the trend line. All it was pushing for was to come and give a, please look in closely. All it was pushing for was to come and give a third touch on the trend line, and also to give a second eye on the on the Fibonacci area. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to do this like this. Okay. So you look at the Fibonacci area, yeah. Look at it. That's the 50 to the 61 Fibonacci area. I tell you that most times when the market wants to come and touch the 50 to the 61 Fibonacci area, most time it does form as a pattern before it begins to move. Most time I've seen this happen again and again. It does form as a pattern before it moves. It does form as a pattern before it moves. So yes, already when it came in the first time and got to the downside, it still came again to give a second high, a second head into that into that Fibonacci area, and also a third touch on the on the trend line. And since then we've seen it selling drastically to the to the downside. Now we are seeing a younger brother range happening, and also forming. So now let's go to the day. Like I said, we are trying to use the weekly to justify the daily for the bigger brother range, and for the smaller one we'll be trying to use the daily / the 4 hours time frame to judge it. So now on the daily, you would see it clearly that we've been able to see the touches of the on the trend line. This is the inner trend line, this is the inner one. So what is happening presently, you will see that yesterday's candle was just a push to the upside to just come and give it a touch around this place. Now what are we expecting today? We are expecting a candle, okay, that should give us a confirmation that sorry about making you wait for so long. Of course we know AUD is a sell. I've said this. Of course we all know that AUD is a sell. But sorry I know you want to profit from me. I know you want to do this. I know you want to do that. I know. Okay, but sorry for taking your time. You can imagine for numbers of since 16th of August even till now, 16th of August even to 10th of October, you can imagine that this currency pair had just been between a range of just around 100, if I'm not wrong, just around 100 to 120 pips. You can imagine for almost 2 months now, it's just been ranging, going, coming, and doing all of this. But now let's go to the 4 hours. Just like I said, for this smaller range, we are trying to use the 4 hours and the daily time frame to judge it. So we are trying to use the 4 hours and the daily time frame to judge. So now let's come to the 4 hours and see things even better. Okay, now if we see, just like it's forming now, if you see, if you see this candle forming presently as a bearish engulfing candle, you can see how much it's forming to engulf, but see it close before you get in. If it close, you can have your conservative entry, yes, and take it down to this 100% retracement. You can take your entry there. And also, I want us to also see something that on the Fibonacci, it has been able to come into the 50. You can see perfectly in that Fibonacci area. This is also another confirmation to that, except from that it's even coming to touch the trend line. It's also coming perfectly into the 50 to the 61 Fibonacci area. So yes, if the candle closes as it is, I can give you my word that you can have your first conservative entry, and of course your stock is staying somewhere high. I do think that if today's candle on the daily, and even if the 4 hours candle most likely closes like this, it should be ready, at least if not even for so long, you should even sell to this 100% retracement. Okay, now there's another thing I want to show us again. Yeah, I think I saw something I wanted to show us again. Okay, yes, it's not here. It's on the NZE. So I think I've been able to get this clear to us that overall, I've told us overall. Okay, let me show you something on weekly. Yes, it was this. So on the weekly, we have the counter trend line. Why we were saying we need AUD to break this counter trend line to make us, feel like yes. And one way or the other, it has been able to broke it. on what, on even the smaller time frame. Now going to the daily, was where my network. Okay, now so going to, now this is even another confirmation. The first one is the touch of this inner trend line. The second is the what, it's happening at the Fibonacci area. The third is what, on the counter trend line. We've seen a break and a retest is happening. So you can see everything lining up. This is confluence. This is confluence. If you're a brother, follow me. This is confluence, my brother. If you're a sister watching me presently, this is confluence, my sister. Like what guys say is a confluence. Yes, this is confluence. So you can imagine 1, 2, 3, 4 confirmations, giving us, pointing to the same thing, it then most definitely means that this guy is really, really ready for sale. Yesterday, most people felt like maybe it was just going to engulf around this place. I saw a push to the upside come because I saw this inner trend line. I was like, it seems this guy just really, really wants to come to this place and give it a touch. So that's that from AUD USD. This, if you can still hear me and you can still see my screen and you are benefiting from this one way or the other, please just drop a comment. Yes, as I talk about NZD USD and give it a wrap for today. I've tried talking about, Euro USD and GBP USD, but I would say that at the moment, one thing I try to do is that I try to bring the very best into this game. I try to bring the very best into this analysis section every day, because when I see that probably a market is not so trending, or it's just consolidated, or it's not looking so clear, I would just want to stay out of it. Okay, now, for like, I'm not talking about Euro USD, I'm still going to NZD. I just want to briefly talk about, probably for numbers of days I've not spoken about Euro USD and maybe GBP USD and all. So now, on the monthly candle, it has been able to engulf to the downside, but it's presently at a very, very delicate area. So we need to see a major break. We need to see a major break. We need to see things more clearly before we get into it. The same thing also for GBP USD. We need to see it's in a very delicate area, and I just want us to be really, really careful for it. Although for a good fact, we can see that on the dollar index, the DXY, it's clear that the dollar is quite strong. The dollar is quite moving to the top presently. We see that the dollar is trading to the upside. Look at when the dollar has been coming. So the dollar is on a uptrend, and that's so clear. Okay. So, but of course, you know that the flip of what happens on the dollar is what happens on Euro USD. Yes, you can even see it's a flip of what happens on the DXY, the flip of what happens on the Euro USD. So yeah, I quite know that the dollar is quite strong and the dollar is trending to the upside, but I just need a more clarity of things to the Euro USD and even GBP USD, before we even get to talk about it. So now let me just quickly speak about NZUSD. The NZUSD too, it has a bigger, broader range that happened and that took a while, and you also see that we are also seeing almost the same thing now. NZD one is even looking like almost alike more than even AUD/USD. And why am I saying that? That is even for the most present candle forming presently. You see that the candle that formed that gave the push to the downside on NZUSD was like a second leg to the first leg of this that happened. And we are seeing something like that. Look at how, don't forget, like I said, for this bigger range here, we are trying to use the weekly and the daily time frame to judge it very well. While on this younger, broader range, while on this, we'll be using the daily and 4-hour time frame to even bring a proper justice to it. So look at on the weekly for NZUSD, and look at how it came, came consolidating, formed the hair pattern, tried to touch it the first time, again came to the downside, touched it the second time, engulfed to the downside, and still came again for another touch. And that another touch is almost looking like the second leg, the second eye on the at the Fibonacci area. Okay, I don't know if you can see this at the Fibonacci area, again. So now let's go to the daily. Okay, let's go to the daily. Now, what is happening on the smaller range presently? What are we anticipating? We're anticipating a sell. Of course, we know it's been selling, because if you look at it from this recent swing high, you would see that the market is presently forming that second high that always happens before the main push. The market is presently at that second high. It has come, it has pushed it back all the way from the downside. It has pushed it back, and there's also a second high, the second high rather, and the third touch on the what? On the inner trend line. This is also the inner trend line. The third touch on the inner trend line to give us a push to the downside. Give us a push to the downside. So we are anticipating number one. Why? Number one is because the Fibonacci area, the 50 to the 61 Fibonacci area, it has come to give a second high. Number two is because it has come to give another touch. It has come to give another touch, and even went far above just to what? Take people away from the market so that it can give room, it can give way for you. So yes, we are anticipating because also a second, another touch, another touch on the what? On the intertrend line. And another reason is also, so when the market is within a range, I want us to also know this. And when the clear trend has not even yet resumed, okay. So if you see the market move past, either the top of the range or the low of the range, and not giving a proper, when you see, except you see a two candle proper close, maybe beyond and below, that's when you can feel like, okay, the trend has resumed. But if you are not seeing such, it's almost like a warning to you that don't even get into it. Don't even feel like I have resumed the trend. I'm still trying to move from the top to the downside. So with what is forming presently on NZUSD, based on this range strategy, it is definitely looking like from here again, it wants to come to the base. So everything is looking like that it should come down to the base. So what are we expecting? Sorry, I'm trying to quickly say things to wrap things up because I know we are a little minutes far more than what we were supposed to spend. But yes, it was because we started maybe 2 minutes, after the whole thing and all. So I'm wrapping this. So yes, we expect that number one, that's going to give another touch on the trend line. Number two is also it's giving the second high, which was what happened here. Let me show us this. I think I've showed us, which was what happened here. This was the second high before it begin, or whatever it is, before it begin. It's what major impulse movement to the downside. So I'm anticipating, let's see how the daily candle close. But on the 4 hours, if you see on the 4 hours also, you see that it's still forming. Let's see how it goes. If it comes below this range here, and you see any bearish candle close, I do think you are definitely good to go, because it should even sell to this. It should sell to this downside, even by trading the range trading strategy. It should when it moves past the stop, and of course it's not forming too bullish green candle, too bullish candle above and beyond the top of the range. It's definitely still within the movement of the top to the bottom, the top to the bottom, the top to the bottom, and the top to the bottom. So that's that for today, and I think I've been able to give clear justice, and I've been able to give proper explanation to US oil, to US30, to AUDUSD, and to NZUSD. Okay, that brings us to a close of today. Okay. Oh, please. You're saying my video is paused, but is it because I left here? Please, if I hope I was not just speaking to myself. Can I trade stocks? Yes, you can trade stocks on Burroughs Funding. Yes, you can, Mr. UIO. Yes, you can. Burroughs Funding accepts all forms of trading, and you can also trade most currency pairs, and even to stock and indexes and all, you can trade them. So please, for as long as possible, before I said I was bringing to a close, I just seek the indulgence of one. Please, if you could see my screen, so please could you just let me know if you saw my screen, to even for a few seconds before I came back here. If you saw my screen so well, please could you just let me know? Mr. Leo, did you change your DP? I think it's you, but I don't know. This is not your regular DP. I know it's you. It's not your regular DP. I know it's you. So please, could you just let me know if you still saw my screen almost as most recently before I came back here? But while I'm waiting for that, I'm giving a special shout out to Mr. Femi Kodri. It's beautiful having you here. Thank you so much for joining. I don't know if this is Miss or Mr. Donor, but whatever it is, that it's Miss, Mr. or Mrs. I'm so sorry if I'm not getting that so correctly, but the name I can see is Donna. You are welcome, and it's so beautiful having you there. Okay, it's so beautiful having you here. And Leo again and again, Mr. Leo, you don't miss it. You always show up on time and every time. You always show up on time and every time. You always show up on time and every time. Okay, yeah, so that it's beautiful having you here. Mr. Marvin, it's so nice having you here too. Mr. Luke, you've been supportive. Thank you for always. Mr. Austin, you've been super supportive. Thank you for always. Mr. Adam, you've been very awesome and supportive. Thank you for always. Mr. Frank, this man got me. He's just super awesome person. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you everyone for joining. It's so beautiful having you on this space. And we will not be coming here on Thursday. It's just once in a week now. And we meet you here, same time, same place. Same time, same place, yes, next week, Tuesday. And do not miss it. And of course, this video is recorded and it will be posted on the YouTube page of Bozo Funding. And if you feel like you still need one or two things to still check in, please do not hesitate to check in. Wishing you, every one of you, the best, even as you trade and even as you do whatever it is you do in your life, other endeavors of life. I wish you the best. I wish you the best of them. And I wish everybody a blessed and a safe week. Thank you all for joining. See you next time and be good. Bye.
Thank you.